So, hi everyone. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my own inner union spread that I usually do when I'm on camera, but I'm just going to do it here rather than two separate ones. So, this might be a bit of a longer one, so go make a wee cup of tea or coffee or whatever, or you can just go back to it whenever. But if you're new around here, hello, my name's Claire, and this channel is about empowering you on your twin flame journey, your inner divine feminine, your inner divine masculine, and whatever is going on with you and your twin flame. Whether you aren't in contact with them or whether you are, people are in all different scenarios, especially at this time on the planet when there's a lot of physical unions coming in. And so that brings me very nicely. I'll just finish my intro, but so everything I do is channeling, meaning the way that I approach every video is going to be the energy of how you're feeling. That's either how you're feeling or how your twin flame's feeling, or a bit of both. Now, obviously, you might not have a way of knowing whether it's going to resonate with your twin flame or not for sure, but you can, when it is your true twin flame, you can tap in and feel into, you can just feel into their feelings, right? So, but I was guided to come and film this because I wasn't sure if I was going to film anything today because, yeah, I was just given a bit of a heads up that it's like, right, I need to rest my voice. I just need to rest in general. Like I said, there's some really amazing, magical, astrological alignment that's going on right now with, like, Venus is now in Gemini. So wherever the Gemini is in your chart, that could bring love, beauty, 144 as well, yes, with twin flames. But also, I suppose it depends on where the Gemini placements are in your chart. And also the sun being in Gemini as well, it's going to depend on where that is. And then we've got Jupiter. It's in the very last of Taurus for today, so it's the very last degree of Taurus. Now, what was it that they were? Oh no, see, this is what I mean. I get so many downloads in my sleep in particular all the time, but I was being told something that was really particular about Taurus. Oh god, that's so annoying. There's so many things that I need to like they'll it was honestly, it was that specific. I just remember being told something about what the last of Taurus means for. Oh, that was it. Yeah, so it's not even that juicy. It was just that when I pulled the home card, which I hadn't actually pulled that one out of this deck. Oh my god, let's use it and see if I pull it now. I hadn't saw it, other than when I first got the deck, I looked at every card. But even when I done that, there's some that are coming out that I'm like, I don't remember seeing it, but it's probably because I only saw it once. That's probably, by the way, that's probably symbolic of, like, those are the twin flames that, like, you've met your person once and felt connection, and then you're shaking it off as, oh yeah, it's just a dream, that wasn't love at first sight. I don't even know that person. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. That's just kind of that's what I mean by, if you're new, how my channeling works. I'm talking about the cards, but I don't know. Something hit me there that could have felt like that for those of you it speaks to. But yeah, it was about home, because Taurus is the second house of your home, your assets, material stuff. And with Taurus being in the very last degree, so yeah, it just basically means that there could be stuff about things to do with home environment and changes in your home and moving home and that. And that card said something about a change around the home. So I'm just going to shovel these and see if it comes out again. But anyway, so it wasn't. Well, so I'm saying it's not juicy, but that could be juicy for some people. Like, it could be that if you're looking for a new home, something's going to, Jupiter's in that very last degree is going to, you've been looking for a house for ages and you finally find your dream home, or you've been looking to get out of a situation and you finally get out of it and get somebody else. I don't know, there's something. And it's about union, because I just looked at 418, which is the Four of Wands. And they're pulling me to that again from yesterday. So open your heart, red rose. Your potential for greater love rests in opening your heart. Blockages and wounds from your past will be healed. You'll be met with true passion. You see, yeah, piecing that all together, it does kind of maybe. Oh, look, this card looks like a house. Look, breathe. But I mean, that's like somebody's living room or something. You know what I mean? Like it's their yoga studio. The calmer you are, the more time slows down and the easier it is to get everything done. So they pulled me that too. And I feel it's somewhere where you're going to be able to heal alone and connect with your higher self, or maybe you might have already been doing that, or they're just, and remember, I read the future too, so this could be something that you've got a goal about. And then I just got drawn to 508, so obviously that could be the 8th of May, but that's just past, not long past, mind you, but that could also be the 5th of August, so oh, and also the 8th of May was the new moon, so which was just a couple of weeks ago, because we just had the full moon. And then it's the new moon, because I said the full moon in the bigger video. It's the new moon in Gemini, the twins, on the 6th of June there. And I can't believe I'm already saying June. I mean, I just couldn't believe when I was doing that video the last, I was like, wait a minute, Sunday isn't the 26th, that's my mum's birthday. I was like, fucking hell, it is. So crazy how time is flying. But anyway, like I said, so these transits could be amazing for you, or they might be a bit of a mixed bag. For me, they're a bit of a mixed bag. But even when you're aware of astrology and you're aware of how things hit your chart, it's always going to be good to still be open to miracles happening and things happening like how you didn't plan, basically, like nice surprises rather than not so nice surprises. But again, there's just some things when I look at someone else's chart, or when I look at my own, and I'm like, yep, you know what I mean? It's just certain transits are pretty textbook. So anyway, yeah, I was guided to come and film this around 441. It was 444 by the time I started. So both these, obviously 144 is the big one there, and 444 is about angels all around to me, whatever it means to you. But let's just see, because I mentioned this. I know, right, the story behind this, wait a minute, before I pull this card, I'll keep them in my hand, so remember. The story behind this is I was just guided, like, very serendipitously the other day to get these, and it's scriptures. And then it's like the confirmation of, and I thought it was actually going to arrive tomorrow, and it arrived early, so there could be some kind of surprise thing happening before you expected, or something like that. But or words of encouragement coming to you when you didn't see them coming, I don't know, something like that. But basically, I saw so much confirmation when I eventually got up, because I didn't get to sleep till late, and so it means I get up late. Because that's just the way my circadian rhythm or whatever it is. It's I'm normally out of it by now, but I don't seem to be getting in the flow of like getting up early, and yeah, it's interesting. But I'm just going with it. Basically there's a lot of sleep needed. I feel I'm tuning into people that are needing a lot of sleep, a lot of healing. And for me, that's when I get the most downloads for the collective to come back and share the healing energy, share the light codes. And this is how I share light codes, And that's actually, I remember this time last year, they were kind of encouraging me to do more around healing, like, so I'll still do cuppa. I'm getting, I think this is at this point in the year, I think this is always where I get fed up with doing the same old, but it's quite interesting. Oh, honestly, the messages are going all over the place today, but I'm just going, anyway, I ordered these, and this is the one I pulled for myself, so I'll shuffle for all of us. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. Could be something significant about the Paddy's Day, 17th of March there. For the Lord God is our sun and our shield, he gives us the grace and glory. And what I found interesting about this is, look, 8411, but when you mix up all the numbers, it's 184, my birthday numbers. So, and I did pull that one for myself. So I'll put that back and see, I'll shuffle out one for all of us. I'll put them there so that I remember. But yeah, it was just really quite synchronistic, because I got them, and then like I was watching while I was sort of waking up and making a cup of tea, like I was watching one of the wizard guys that I've been talking about, just basically a male that does similar to what I do. And it was just basically generally like picking up on all the stuff I've been getting downloads about as well, that like whoever, it's exactly what I wrote in the community tab yesterday actually. It's whatever's been done in the dark is coming to light. Like, it's like people that have basically gossiped, and remember what I said, the Venus in 0 degrees Gemini right now, and Jupiter about to go into Gemini, that will mean there will be a lot of gossip, and there'll definitely be a lot of gossip around things to do with love. So when this is a twin flame channel, there could be stuff like that going on. And Gemini likes variety. There's no other way to put it. Gemini placements like variety. So when it comes to Gemini and love, Venus and Gemini, or I can even think like people that have got like a moon and whatever in the third house, or or maybe like Gemini energy in the seventh, like whatever, whatever it is. It doesn't always mean that you like multiple partners, like like that one person isn't enough and you like to variety. It could be like you could be a very loyal, faithful person with a placement like that, but you need to spice it up in the bedroom. So it doesn't always mean what it sounds like, but it can be that too. Just holistically, that's what I feel. I mean, I know that for a fact because I've got strong Gemini in my chart, and it absolutely does. It's not the case for me at all. Like I'm absolutely a one guy woman. Don't think I need to fucking prove. Well, yeah. Anyway, do you know what I mean? Like it's but anyway, it's just interesting that there's oh fuck's sake, honestly, I really need to fix the cards that are on the floor here. See, so again, I just feel that's people feeling fed up. There's things all over the floor. This is feeling fed up. Can you hear that trumpet in the background? See, whenever I say that, I don't know if it's a trumpet or a saxophone. They play it quite a lot, but when I get drawn to it, I always feel like it's to do with like God playing the trumpets. And I mean, these aren't oracle cards. I'm pretty sure the people that made these would be affronted that I'm using them like this. But it depends if you look at it. Like I said, I'm a modern mystic. I'm bringing in, the scriptures in a modern way doing this. And it's kind of like, and teaching myself about some of them while I'm doing it as well. So it's a good thing. But basically what I'm saying is, I'm being drawn to that person playing the instrument, and it's reminding me like, when the trumpets blow. And that to me is like about the judgment card and, karma. And that's basically what I'm getting at, is the few wee short videos. Because like, remember I said that the other day, but like when I like to watch people, I will watch people that do longer things like me now and again, but I tend to like these wee shorter ones. And it's kind of like that was basically one of them. I've just realised that all the wee short messages I've watched today are about the same thing, and it's about anybody that was a part of spreading lies or believing lies are starting to see the holes in the boat, the cracks in the story. Like, it's like, so basically I feel if you're somebody that has been lied about, I think justice is coming in the way of the liars being found out, whatever that means. And that's going to be really off-putting when he's playing that, but I don't know if it picks up. I think it does a bit. But let's just see. Let's see if the home card comes out though, because this could be it. Like I said, I'm going to do that. So it doesn't need to be that long actually. But what do we need to know? Rainbow energy. So like I was saying, when this card comes out, I hold the rainbow codes. The colours of the universe live within you, radiate their brilliance, rainbow energy. And then also, with me always have it. Oh yeah, and then look, I have put, there is a, look, can you just see that's only just peeking in? There is a particular more rainbow stuff than usual, because they only made me put that back in the shot not that long ago. Vibrational shift. You're shifting from your polarized world of duality to freedom and heart unity. So I feel like that's, because I'm going to do it like Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, I feel like that's Divine Feminine. You're in this higher vibrational energy, whatever energies you resonate with the most, because like I said, I'll be here all day if I fucking reel them all off, because I really am connected to Lemurian, Atlantean, blah 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 blah, rainbow frequency, diamond frequency, like, I'm an old soul, and I feel this is it. So whatever ones you resonate with, and the masculine is feeling this vibrational shift of going from polarity to duality, which is the word I always use for Gemini, to like following their heart. So basically being stuck in their head to following their heart. So I'm going to use these two cards here to remind me of that. But yeah, basically the other thing that I watched, like I said, I'm not always going to mention the things that I've just watched. And like I was saying, if you're not new around here, I don't mention the people are that I catch, whether they're new to me or not so new, because I just feel it keeps it fair. Like if I'm talking about something that isn't so good. But basically, the other thing I watched was, well, it was just, I didn't watch it, it was just interesting that it was like, what I say all the time about, to me, there is no difference between when you're a true twin flame and when people talk about your kingdom spouse and spiritual warfare. It's the same fucking thing to me, the exact same fucking thing. And it's weird because some people claim it isn't. Like there's some people that are helping give, you know, a kingdom word and all this kind of whatever, you know what I mean? Like calling it something different, but it's the exact same thing. But feel that twin flames aren't real. So it's just, anyway, totally baffling. So I can only share what my perspective on it is, and I channel the divine, aka God. So we're going to see what God has to say about it through these cards. But basically, I did see like someone else had posted something that's basically exactly what I'm feeling, because again, they're in the same wave as what I would say is me, but it's, this person isn't putting out in the same way, is all I'm going to say, right? So, but it's just basically like feeling that, you know, there's a real strong need to pray for your person right now. But you mean for your kingdom spouse, your twin flame, whatever, your divine masculine, whatever you want to call it. And I do feel that too. And so, I mean, it could be that it's like either they're receiving some kind of karma, or, which I feel is just happening anyway for, for a lot of divine masculines it is, if they've been around people that were in a lower vibrational energy, because think about what that card says, and then they've taken part in, definitely if it's gossip or anything, because Gemini, the shadow side of that is gossip, then I do feel it's like this karma's coming back to bite everyone in the ass, basically. But when it's your own twin flame, you want to be said they love, because it's when they've been manipulated and but anyway, and they've just pulled me the word shadow work when I said that. Right, so what have we got then? What's a... I'll pull one of these now, right? And then let's pull them in at a different part of the spread. What do we need to know? What would be helpful for anyone out there, whether it's a divine feminine or divine masculine? I've engraved you on the palms of my hands. Oh. The Lord comforts. And that kind of, that feels like something to do with healing. So that's not a coincidence. I was saying that they always kind of guide me to focus more on a way to share like the healing videos with people, because basically, like what I say all the time, my healing is always weaved in everything I do, every card reading I do. But there's a way in which you package some things where, you know, it's, you know, it basically, a healing video is going to look more like a healing video without, you know, being with cards. The Lord comforts his people and will have compassion on his afflicted ones. Yeah, you see, that does, that for some reason does feel like what I've just said. Like, so anybody that's been afflicted with some sort of pain, whether it was their own doing or from other people, is being comforted. Ooh, right, okay, so we'll put this here. And oh my god, that instrument's really doing my nutting, but we'll just ignore it. That could be symbolic or something, doing your nutting. Right, where is the... There we go. So, we will start with the past. And by the way, I'm just doing this big video, and then the other videos that you see Saturday, Sunday will be ones that I prepared earlier, like as in weeks ago, and then I'm just releasing them now. Yeah, okay, so we've picked up one of the ones that gives us tea. So when I do the past, it is like past lives, and it's also what's happened in the past. There was a passionate connection in the past, because I've picked that up by accident, but we all know this isn't an accident by now. The 19th of June could be significant. That's very heightened energy, because that's right before the summer solstice, which is actually the 9th anniversary. I'm looking forward to next year when I can say the 10th anniversary, but yeah, the 9th anniversary of Crystal Flare Visions. So not specifically for the YouTube channel, because I think actually the anniversary of that is something random, like 29th of July or something. So these dates could be significant, but I think that's when I started the other social media. So And the summer solstice last year, which I can't believe that's nearly a year ago, was when I went to Roslyn Chapel and prayed for our union. So that's very connected to Mary Magdalene and the Rose line, if you didn't know, which I am very connected to that as well. And actually, I am wearing red pyjamas with wee stars all over it. So Mary Magdalene's often depicted wearing red. And also they did just pull me to the card with a rose on it when I said that, so clearly this is their modern way of telling. Oh yeah, and it is actually red rose. That's quite funny. This is their modern way of letting me know to let you know that I'm channeling Mary Magdalene codes right now. So like I say, I'm always carrying that, but it's in a bigger way. So what happened in the past for the Divine Feminine in this connection? What was a repeating pattern from a past life or in the past? Something that when this Divine Feminine, regardless of your gender, when you were stuck in your South Node. Oh look, and I said the karmic lessons, repeated patterns at 21 minutes, and 21 is when it's upside down, when you're repeating a karmic lesson. When it's upright, it's when you've happily completed it and it's over. Which actually came out in yesterday's video. So could you tell us something about when this Divine Feminine or the masculine feminine side was repeating a karmic lesson? So it's over, or you might be just completing it. Heart fog, mixed signals, blocked emotions and messed up. Wow, that's so accurate for all Divine Feminines. Look, it's so there might be something really significant about the outline of a heart, because actually before I because I still feel a bit half asleep, I was going to say, oh, I've got wee hearts on my jammies, but it's not, it's stars. So there's something about hearts. Maybe someone's got hearts and stars in their eyes. I feel this is about, in the past you were in this repeating karmic cycle of blocked emotions, feeling mixed up and mixed signals over your twin flame. But because it's in reverse, it's like you've got into a better balanced place of that, is what I'm getting. And what about the masculine? Like, what was going on with them, the masculine? And I think I will, look, I don't know, I'll say this, I'll see how it goes. 222, love and balance and partnership. I think I might just do 2, right? And then it might not take as long, but we'll just see. It's too tempting to pull more cards. What about the masculine? What was a karmic lesson that they were stuck repeating in the past? This should be, it's always an interesting one what comes out for the masculine here. But let's see, what was something that they were stuck in the South Node, whether it's you or 3 cards have just come out. Oh god, and yeah, it is an interesting one. Right, look, before I read them, look how it's cut, like when I've picked it, look at this. Someone's reaching breaking point over a Divine Feminine. Limit, final straw, overwhelmed. This feels like someone's stuck, repressed, emotions are all coming up to the surface, and I've just realised that that's, wait a minute, yeah, so the combination of things that I've watched like 5 minutes of or 2 minutes of, it was all what I've already said. People that have been involved in spreading lies, malicious gossip, all that, the shadow side of Gemini energy, something's being revealed. Like, basically it's just becoming blindly obvious that they were lying. So I don't know what that means to different people, but hopefully that's good news for some of you. If you've been patient and rode the storm of people lying about you, whether you were aware of it or you might not have consciously known, but you could just feel it, and maybe it didn't really bother you because you do your own thing, or maybe it did bother you, just however that goes. But I just feel if that's been a thing, people are getting a karma for that. If they're not getting right now, they will. So again, repent if you've been doing that and you know that people didn't deserve it. But and then there's also people that have got caught up in it, that, you know, where they've believed it and then they're like, oh shit, that isn't true. So it feels like basically narcissists and people that gaslight, and, you know, it's basically what I've said before, that it can be butthurt people, you know what I mean? That, like, basically if they're not getting their own way and they're not getting control of the situation, they'll try to get as many people as they can on their side, like that, what's it, flying monkeys kind of thing, and get it's bullies as well, you know, people that just get everybody to believe them, and then they'll believe the person for a while, and then as time goes on they start to think, wait a minute, this person actually was the one that was doing all the damage, and we've actually secluded the person that was telling the truth. So that doesn't sound like a very nice situation, but it does sound like that's for that much detail to come out. And that's what I mean about, that's the good thing about where the energies are hitting my chart. It makes me be even more about the details, but it's painful ones. So sorry if you've been subjected to that. But again, I think in some way we all have, but even if you don't know about it. But yeah, for the masculine in the past, we've got open heart, receptive, empathy, and vulnerable. So I'm more feeling like in the past, this masculine felt like they had like the heart again. So we've got the heart on the feminine, the heart on the masculine. This masculine felt like they felt everything for you basically, and it was too overwhelming. It made them feel vulnerable because we've got overwhelmed and divine feminine, like your love overwhelmed this person, and but they kind of had this feeling, you know what, one day, someday, somewhere, another time, I'm going to be able to handle that love, but not right now. And then that led masculines to being stuck, tied down and captive, trapped in other situations because they ran. Now, some of those cards came reverse. I think that one actually came reverse. So I think this is talking about the past. This person isn't trapped anymore, or they're not as trapped as what they once were. Let's just get a couple more, but that's obviously really interesting. Oh yeah, look, and then I went to get to do that. Oh, interesting. So we've got, look, obsession, and we've also got cloudy judgment. So I feel this is definitely about, like, you know, that desire that you can have, a divine masculine having a desire, an obsession for a twin flame, but also, but like I've said many times before, and other people say it too, it freaked them out, so they thought there was something like really, what the hell's going on here? But also I feel the cloudy judgment is, I hate ones like this, but I feel it could be something like that, where like people have tried to get in the masculine's head about, that's basically one of the other things. This is really hard to describe, but it's, they were reminding me of something that was said to me quite a few years ago now, right? And a person did, was that whatever, and I've said this before, but that whatever was being said about me was actually what the people were doing. So, and I didn't actually even I've got a fair idea, but I didn't even know exactly what that meant at the time, and I just put it in my head, to be honest, because these are things that you can't control, right? But I feel that's happening for everyone, that it's like wherever cloudy judgment, wherever somebody has distorted your image, like slander or whatever, or made you out to be one way, when most of the time, like I said, it's people that don't even know you, or they don't know you anymore if they knew you before, whoever it is that's done this about whoever, there's justice coming in those situations. So because they were just reminding me of that being said to me at some point, and then that's what I'm seeing a lot of readers picking up on collectively, me too, that it's like wherever, so this doesn't even need to be necessarily love, it could be about anything in life, where like you've took a stand for something that wasn't right, and other people have like sided with the person that done you dirty. That could be something too, you know what I mean? Like whether it's in love, friendship, business, whatever, and it's like whoever done you dirties, people are seeing the true colours. So what have we got for the feminine on this side in the past? Are we saying that? Oh yeah, look, resentment, anger, hurtful words. It's in reverse. So again, I do feel there was some kind of, it's in reversal, so somebody had to like put some kind of hurtful words and anger behind them about, yeah, so this makes sense. Like if you're this feminine, I feel you've been gossiped about unfairly, and like whether you're aware of it or not, like people have been talking about you and you've not. Yeah, look, confessions, unveiling, coming clean messages. It's like that's what I feel is going to be coming towards you. Juicy. Divine masculine, yang energy. And look, that's the divine masculine side. So I think this could be something like a divine masculine is coming towards you with the truth. So this might even be that like there's things that have been, I feel like there's something that's been said about you that you don't even know. And you, like I've said before, you might not even care. And I think with me mentioning that was said to me in a personal reading once years ago, that could even be relevant to me. Like I've said, I don't care, because like I've said before, if people have been making up shit about me, especially if it's not even true or they've twisted things, then whoever it is that believes them, like, I just feel sorry for them, because it's like, I just don't understand how people can't see through lying fuckers. Do you know what I mean? Like, anyway, but that's because I've got so much Scorpio. But I think there could be masculine energies that are beginning to see the truth. Because now we've got cleared head, better off, happiness, perspective. So, right, okay, we'll put them down because they're a bit intense, those cards. And like, I'm still doing my detective job there about why they were talking to me about that. But I think so. They might just be talking to me about that being said in my personal reading, because yeah, it is pertaining to me. There's some kind of justice coming my way about whatever was said about me that wasn't true. But I feel it's a message for all of you. If things have been said about you that aren't true, like, the people that made up the shit are being found out, basically. So, hooray for the people that have been wronged. Right, so what's the present North Node focus then for this feminine? Oh, very juicy, yes. Shadow side, you made me realise my flaws, but it's in reverse. So I feel the present North Node focus is, oh, that's so deep, but it's so in line with my North Node in Gemini. Absolutely. So yeah, I feel it's like this might be, you might need to dig deep to really be able to get on board with this, but they're pulling me the word shadow work written on a bit of paper. I feel whatever it is that's went down between you and specifically your divine masculine is what, if this is for you, I feel it's like it's highlighted needed shadow work, that, like, basically it's highlighted something in your life that you weren't paying attention to, like repressed feelings that you'd pushed down. Because remember, if your twin flame is repressing their feelings, there's going to be something that you're repressing as well, maybe not as much, but and sometimes you've done what you need to do there, and it's just a case of the manifestation catching up of them mirroring you. But there's something here about whatever the dynamic has been between you and your twin flame, and whether you're a woman or a man, I feel that this highlighted something that needed to be brought to light. So although I feel there's definitely stuff here that's wet on that isn't nice, it's triggered you to look at things that you needed to look at. I actually kind of feel like I'm just going to see if the cards will back me up, but I feel it's something in the line of, it feels like, because the cards keep coming out about, like, pride and ego and stuff. I feel like if you're a divine feminine that's like capable of doing a lot by yourself, and because I just looked at solitude, and can do so by yourself, and basically, whether you're a strong woman or a strong man, Jesus, forgiveness energy, because it's at 33 minutes, I feel something, whatever happened here, could have got you in such a low place that you needed to get support from others around you, or support from other healers, or counselors, or whatever it was. And it's like, but that, so it's kind of like what they're saying to me, it's like something really shit happening, which actually helped you to face a part of your shadow that needed support. Like, it kind of reminds me of like what happened to me years ago, like I think I was around 35, like what led me to being like diagnosed with ADHD was basically reaching a breaking point. Oh yeah, breaking point. I remember that card said that. So this is a bit of a long story, but it must be relevant. Maybe some of you are getting to this point where it was like, I just realised it was like, whenever I'd done a good work week, like, everything in my house, all my housework was just completely like, toppling on top of it. It was just like I couldn't keep on top of it, right? And I mean, I'm still a bit like that. Like, I've got a system now that helps me, but basically, like, what I mean, it's just I need to have like a system to sort all that out. But which is why I was geeking out when I got those like things recently for my house to sort out my clean washing, and that was just in a pile, and now I've got it, like, it's a bit neater, like it's in it just looks more aesthetically pleasing. So if there is clean washing set and needs to be put away, it's in these baskets. It looks quite nice. But yeah, it's just it's basically things like that. Like, oh, I'm just trying to get. I'm trying to yeah, basically, and then yeah, so it was like, you know, my dishes would be piled up and that, and it was like I didn't have a dishwasher at that point. I'm fucking very grateful I've got one now, but yeah, my dishes would be piled up, but I'd had a good work week, and then if I was doing great with the housework and the house looked great, it was, well, good for me, because it was like the place I lived in was a bit bigger than this, and it was just more difficult to manage. Then my work would be shit. Do you know what I mean? So it was like I basically just couldn't balance things. So maybe that's how either divine feminine or divine masculine's feeling right now. Like you're just, things are getting tough for you. Or it could be as specific, because I mentioned I can be really specific in this energy. It could be that you're having something like that. Like perhaps somebody watching this, you're realising because you've had to face your shadow and healing your trauma, you're realising that, oh, maybe this isn't just like childhood trauma or a trauma from a past relationship. Maybe you're struggling because you've actually got like an undiagnosed thing, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is. So, because that's what it was for me. Like I'd been calling it dyslexia, dyspraxia all that time and geeked up and been teaching other people and blah, blah, blah. And then I realised that, but wait a minute, this is more than that. Like I've actually got like ADHD, and it's inattentive ADHD I've got, so it means that like I call it sloth mode, lovingly call it sloth mode. Like it's very, you know, when I get burnt out, I get really burnt out, because you hear me talk about that quite a lot. And yeah, so I help people with this in sessions all the time about how to manage your energy better, so that you're not, because that's the thing, that you could use all your energy to help other people, but then be burned out, you've got nothing left for yourself. Now that's great, because again, I'm here to be of service for others, but what they were giving, you know, me a chat about there while I was in my bed the last couple of days is I mean, yeah, like I need to focus on an area of like just changing things up a bit, and yeah, I basically need to balance out the energy of receiving back again, because I've given out a lot, and I always give out a lot. So I get what they mean. It's always around this time of year. So I'm just sharing all this because I feel this is all at the feminine side, that I feel if you're not quite ready to see something from a higher perspective of why all this went down, because it feels like quite deep stuff. Again, remember what I said is like where the energy's hitting my chart, it's my 8th house, so it's like really it's quite tense. Like it's going to get right down to the brutal truth, and I feel something, if you haven't seen what good has come of a difficult situation, you will in time, because I definitely know with certain things that have happened with me, although things have hurt at the time, good's come out of it, because it got me to stop and slow down and look at where I needed more support things. So that's basically, it's cryptic, that's better to put it. Right, so what about this masculine? What presently, I feel a lot of heat in my head when yeah, wow, understanding. I see your side of the story. So again, remember, this is like, because I'm doing it all in one video, this is a feminine side of a soul and the masculine side of a soul. So whoever the divine feminine is, you're presently focused on, because it's in reverse, I feel like, you know, you're presently looking at something that you were running away from, or that you were like, I can do this all by myself, I'm fine, you know, don't need help, or you might not have been that pushing away, but it's something that you weren't noticing, and it feels like basically it feels like some kind of trauma was triggered that brought things up to the surface. So it was bad, but then it was good because it's got you look at something. And I don't know how many that you're aware of this, but it's always good to be reminded that you see, when you start doing subconscious work, you have to get through the roller coaster first. Like it's well known that if you do hypnosis, like whether you're listening to people's hypnosis tracks or like mass stuff, or you know, you've been to get hypnotherapy by somebody one-to-one with me or anyone else, you will have a period of disruption, because you know it's shaken up what you've known. So you have to get through the sludge. Oh, and now they're reminding me, by the way, my head's on fire when I'm saying this. So there's huge crown chakra and soul star activations going on, and I feel it's to do with the masculine understanding stuff here. But Yeah, so I saw cocoon written on a work van the other day, right? And I mentioned that in the last video. And then today, one of you just sent me a picture of one of your kids graduating like preschool, and and there was just something that was written on the wee picture that he was holding that said something about butterflies. I was like, oh, that's really interesting, cocoon and butterflies. So, and look, I've just noticed it's just reached 40 minutes. So I really do feel this is somebody else like me that whether you've already turned 40, or whether you're turning 40 this year, or it could even be about whenever you turn 40, or it might be a bit of a stretch, but it could be reflect on when you were 40 if you're past it. But there's something about a huge realization, because that's what I was getting at. It's like I went through that all those years ago, right? Like all those years ago, but I think I was about 35. I might have been a bit younger, but um, when I realised that was when I needed more support. Like it wasn't just dyslexia, it wasn't just dyspraxia. Actually, it's quite a bit. And then you go through a lot of anger and stuff. And remember that did say bitterness and anger. So remember, that's particularly not about towards a twin flame. That's like it was anger towards everything, because it's like, wait a minute, that means not only have I not had the support I need, my family didn't have the support that they needed to support me. It's all this stuff that you go through. And again, I've helped loads of people through this through my work, and because I've just always been very good at spotting when a child is struggling or an adult, and a lot of the times, like it's difficult because I see things long before other people do, and it can be very painful to watch because I can feel what the person's struggling with. And like it's obvious because I was struggling with myself, and some of it I didn't know until after. But I knew, I didn't know, but I knew, if you know what I mean. But you could have just been misdiagnosed. Like that I went on a 3 hour workshop when I was at uni. Me and one of my best friends went on it because we both we've been diagnosed with dyslexia. Little do we know, there's more going on. But it was kind of like, what I remember was there was loads of people that had been misdiagnosed with things like bipolar and all of that, and it wasn't. It was actually that they had misdiagnosed dyslexia at the time and maybe ADHD, and then they'd been misdiagnosed with bipolar, and then it led them to have depression. So it's really dangerous, you know what I mean? Like, all these fucking labels that fly about, like, again, and I know, like, I'm the on the talk of the tick and all this pish, but I know that there's loads of people and they're like, oh, these are the signs of this and these are the signs of that, and some of that can be helpful, some of it can be like overload. But whatever this is, I feel somebody's having some kind of something like that. You're realizing that you struggle with more things than most do, and you've been masking it because there's something coming up to be looked at. So whether it's that you're recognizing that you've not been diagnosed with something that you maybe suspect you have, or which can be frustrating itself, by the way, because whenever that was that I noticed that about, right, I've definitely got ADHD, like with just everything that had happened in my life to that point. It then took another further couple of years to get the support for it, and even at that, it was only like 6 sessions. But those 6 sessions were helpful. But I arguably could have had more help. But again, essentially, it was enough to get me going because I help other people with this stuff. But that's the point. See, they're bringing it back to that. It might not be specifically about you having ADHD or you having whatever or blah blah blah. And it doesn't need to be ADHD. It could be anything. It's about the fact that it's like something's coming up for a feminine to look at, or a masculine's feminine side, that you could have been like busy with work and you were just always running away from struggling with something. But now it's like, look, your masculine side's like, oh god, this is so confusing. But if this is just you alone, whether you're the divine feminine, divine masculine, your logical analytical side is realizing, I've ignored my feelings and needs in this area, or I didn't ignore it. I didn't even realize that's what I was struggling with. Oh god, that's actually nearly making me want to cry. So to me, that, like I said, this is tapping into some deep stuff here. But it's like, so that's like you actually being kind to yourself. I see your side of the story. But this is how deep it is with true twin flames as well. It's like, this could also be like when you separate it into, and so that's like the feminine being like what I just said, and now we'll do it for the masculine. Same thing. The masculine's logical is like, oh, I understand that I've ignored my feelings. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't matter whether you split it up into the divine feminine, divine masculine. It's the same thing because it's the same soul. This can make sense for a whole load of people, by the way. But look, all the fours, so a lot of angels are healing this situation, misunderstanding, it feels like. Yeah, definitely misunderstanding, because I'm homing in on understanding. And see all the different folks, I feel like this is generational curses being broken, but I feel it's also like somebody, the masculine, thinking back on memories and understanding where a lot of the misunderstandings have come from. But if we split into the people now, it's like divine feminines looking at things that you need to look at for yourself, your shadow side. And the masculines, because you're doing that, oh, this is really deep, but I love it. This is like my counsellor side and my shaman side mixed in, but it's like, because you're looking at things a little deeper for yourself, your masculines now empathising and understanding your side of the story. So you see how that deep that is? If you are a feminine, don't be so rushing about in this kind of energy about. But I just saw the soul contract card that says the lessons I learned will never be forgotten. Just don't be quick to be rushing about helping other people so much, because I know that basically whenever the sun is going through my 8th house, they want me to slow down and do a lot of my own shadow work, which I'm like, oh, really? Do I have to? I'm fucking forever doing that anyway. But it's just, yeah, definitely know that that'll be the case. So if I'm not doing as many live streams, and you know why, just until it moves out that energy. But it's very good for detective work and personal sessions, so I can still do personal sessions when I feel up to it. But I'd probably prefer to be rather to do the unlisted videos, actually, to be honest, but we'll just see. But that's very deep. Right, so that's what's currently going on. Why am I shuffling these? I don't know why I've... Oh, right. Oh, how what does this say? Because the next question is about... and I want to do that. The next question is, what karmic lessons are they learning, and what needs to be released in shadow work? And I'm going to put those two questions together. I mess up the good things in my life sometimes. So if you are either the divine feminine or the divine masculine, I feel both of you at some point had a tendency to self-sabotage. And that's how you'll know this is for you. And that's what you're releasing. So you might have already worked through a lot of this, but we're always self-sabotaging somewhere. But it's like through fear of how amazing something could be when you reach it, you could always be delaying it from getting here because you don't feel good enough yet. And just be aware that that could go on forever. And that's when I would strongly advise that you go and get some hypnotherapy, book a session with me, we'll get straight to the point. Like I said, this is, provided I've got the energy, it's great for me to do that detective work. But I definitely feel they want me to, it's going to need to be people that are, I'm going to need to be, balancing the scales with the paid sessions, because that's what I was working out. I was like, the last few sessions that I've done have been, like the free, the work that's a huge part of my purpose. But yeah, I need to balance the scales with people booking. So if you do need support, then book a session. What else? Shadow work then. That's so interesting that shadow side came out a little bit. What else for shadow work for? Let's do it. And so that's both people, but let's do one for the feminine for shadow work. See, it totally makes sense. It's like some kind of like argument has happened here. I wish you understood how I feel. But then how interesting is that? I see your side of the story. So be very aware if this is resonating with you right now, whatever gender you are, the shadow work you might need to do, feminine, is that you might feel like your masculine doesn't understand you, but actually they do now. They might not have before, but they do now. So let me know if, you get proof of this. But, so what's a shadow work? What's something, so just think about what that means. Like, you need to, you're still in the energy, or maybe you were of like, this person's just or it could even be like, to be fair, you could be a feminine that's like, they don't get it because they're spiritually asleep, and I forgive them for that, but I mean, I can't talk to it. And I mean, that's what I silly think that it's like, and I don't ever see anyone else saying it like I do, but I'm just being honest. Like, I'm going to say the same thing I say all the time. Like, I can't wait for the day that my twin flame wants to sit down and have an honest conversation, but I don't want to do that until he understands that we are twin flames, and yeah, and that's it. You know what I mean? And then, because it's just, I feel that's, it's just something that, because of what I'm doing, like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and pretend like I'm not doing this and that he doesn't know I'm not doing this, like, or whatever, you know what I'm like, I just, like, no. So, yeah. Anyway, so, what shadow work a masculine needs to do? Detachment. I had to let this go so I could clear my mind. Wow. This is like so deep. This is definitely like a therapy session, this one. But it came out reversed though, right? So I really do feel the shadow work that this masculine had to do was, this masculine, like, was actually quite codependent on the feminine. And bear with me, this is what I've said before, that I realised that about myself a few years ago, that, and it was actually when it had come up in a few different personal readings I'd had for myself. And I was like, what are you talking about? I haven't seen him for years. But it's kind of like, it was, you know, it's when you're still in that needing something to happen, like you need it to happen because it's your twin flame and you love them and blah, but you're still in a desperate energy. So you can be desperate and not chasing after the person literally, you know what I mean? But if you're not living your life for you and you're waiting for them to turn up all the time, you're not fully living your life. So I was grateful for that shadow work when that came in my awareness, which is why personal readings are good, and I'm good at doing that for people too. Because again, it's like, I'm very particular. Either I'm drawn to people that are Scorpio rising or Scorpio because they can dig into my stuff, or I've weirdly noticed Capricorn Sun people can be quite good for that too. But basically, and that's just how it aligns with my charts. But basically, what I'm saying is, it's like, I feel it's like, it's a masculine that's, they have to focus on that, or they have been focused on that, on detaching, so they could clear their mind and truly understand. And it looks like it's worked, because now this person sees the divine feminine side of the story. Deep stuff. Right, so what would help with inner union right now? So, but I'm afraid it's too late to take action. So that's quite a story. Somebody now sees the divine feminine side of the story, and they had to let go so they could clear their mind. And I also feel the attachment that they had, by the way, not only could there have been some kind of unhealthy attachment to the divine feminine, like, so that kind of means, like, you know, like, basically feeling like putting you on a pedestal, and not basically, because remember that other card, the thing says, you made me realise my flaws. Like, basically both of you are flawed. So if you're watching this, whoever you are, both of you are flawed. Newsflash, none of us are perfect. So take the person right off the fucking pedestal, basically, right? Because that is a way for people to flow find. It's people with certain attachment issues, it is well known that they will fantasize, like, watch out for this, because this is toxic too, and people do it, that they'll put somebody on a pedestal when they're with someone, because it's like, oh, that person from my past is just like amazing, and if I was with them it would be amazing, but I'm with you. But it's like, that's not fair to the person that you're with, because actually the person you're putting on a pedestal won't be that amazing. They're a person with flaws too. So it's basically about, but then you have to take a look in the mirror and be like, that's just self-sabotage. Like, you're not perfect either. And then I'm not even getting in the old kind of, oh, but the person they might be with is karmic and horrible and blah, blah, blah. That's self-sabotage too. If you are, so this is some real tough love here, but if you are a divine feminine or divine masculine that is with a toxic karmic lover, friend, allowing toxic family to control you, toxic work colleagues, or a wee bit of all of it, you're messing up the good things in your life by not creating boundaries with these people, or by staying in an unhealthy toxic relationship. You know what I mean? And it's like when I add on as well about, oh, but I'm doing it for the kids. But that's not doing it for the kids. You're actually going to do your kids more damage by them witnessing two people that can't stand each other. So, you know what I mean? There's There's a lot going on here, but I feel this is about somebody's had to clear their mind and detach from codependent anything. So, but there's definitely codependency within a connection, and codependency within could be, yeah, it's very tangled. It feels very Venus and Gemini, actually. That's what I meant. So if that doesn't make sense to you, it's not yours. But I feel bits and bobs of this will make sense to a lot of people. So what would help within our union right now? That's so interesting. I pulled space in reverse, right? I need more time to think in reverse. The feminine doesn't need any more time to think. I think the feminines have had a lot of time to think, a lot of time and space to heal. And it feels like the feminines for inner union need the gap to be closed, and the communication, because Gemini is about communication. So what does the masculine need for inner union right now? Oh, wait a minute, actually. So that's what the feminine needs for their feminine side. What does the feminine need for their masculine side? I feel shattered about the situation. Broken, yeah, but it's in reverse. But what I'm taking that to be is the feminine needs communication, because you've come out of a time of feeling shattered about whatever's went on, and you need clarity either way. That's what I feel is coming through here. So the masculines for inner union, for their feminine side, their feelings, the receptivity. New chapter, I'm trying to move on, but it's like in reverse. So it's for inner union. This person isn't trying to move on, and I think what I've been told is, if this divine masculine did try to move on and get space from the intensity with a twin flame, it didn't work out, because it's in reverse. It's like this person is not trying to move on from you, basically. I sound very American because that sounds like some of the, but this person isn't trying to. If this person wants a new chapter, they want a new chapter with you. Like, this is somebody that realises they're your twin flame. I need to get some of the message decks that say things like that. That'll be creepy if the one comes out like, I am your twin flame. So that's what this, if you're the masculine, you have now accepted that you don't want to move on from your twin flame, and that you want to resolve something. So that is fitting up with other things, right? So what does this masculine need to do for their masculine side? Decisions they need to make, boundaries, action. Unsatisfied. I wasn't happy the way things were going, and it's in reverse. So it's like, if you're a masculine, you weren't happy with whatever and remember, this could, by the way, I could be channeling things from like years ago, like we're talking like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, or this could be 3 months ago. It's whatever, but it feels like it's going to resonate for people where it's like been things that have been going on for years. But this masculine was unsatisfied. Like, and remember, this is their masculine side, so the decisions and the actions and the procrastination that they took, it was just, they were scared, they were scared of the intensity. They didn't like, it just didn't feel good, so they made the decisions that matched with that, and the feelings that were telling them, oh, there must be something wrong with this because it's bringing up all my trauma and blah, blah, blah. Like, I need to move on with other people, but we've already seen that didn't work. And now this person, because it's in reverse, now this person actually realises that they've had to go through all the karmic lessons with other people to realise that they don't want to move on anymore with other people, because it just doesn't work. And now they're satisfied that they don't want to move on, and they want to work on this for a reunion. They just told me to turn over the... So yeah, that's... And how amazing is that? Because that was the question. So this is actually quicker than I thought, but that was like, what would help inner union right now? What would help inner union? The combined energies reunion. We will always come back to each other. So it feels like it's divine timing is now. And I've been saying that for weeks, but divine timing is now for whoever this resonates for. Because look what I said about the reminiscing with the first card. This person's like missing your inside jokes, or reminiscing. But at one point they just was like, look, I don't know if we'll ever change, but I always feel connected to you. At one point this person felt like this was like a negative thing, but I feel like a part of me is missing without you. And I'm struggling to get over the past. It's the struggling to get over the past that's helping this person realise how much you mean to them, And that's why they're going to be like, hey, I want to call and hear your voice. Or they're just going to call you. And they're the chaser. They had to see to their responsibilities. I have to take care of my financial and emotional needs. It's the one where the kid with a terrible haircut is staring at us. But beautiful little child. But actually, wait a minute. To be fair, it's not a bad haircut. It's probably their baby hairs. I'll take that back. But anyway, our love is always there despite the distance. And I'm still trying to heal from this. Yeah, so this, anyway, masculine, you've had your time to talk. Come and literally talk to your feminines. So, yeah, but that's, seriously, that masculine is done playing games. Look, I'm done playing games. Quit playing games with my heart. Right, so I'll wait a minute. Let's get a wee. What does this masculine want to say, and then I'll move on to the next bit. What else does masculine want to say? Let's see if this ties in with the things I've already brought through, because I'm just a mouthpiece. This was a deep one today, but must be needed. I'm taking my time. This time I want to do things right. That's why I don't want to rush things and risk losing you altogether. I want it to be right. Well, that actually, I'm not going to pull another one because that makes perfect sense. Whatever's went down in the past, this person feels like this divine masculine's like really misunderstood the feminine. And I just feel collectively, I'm seeing a lot of people picking up on the same theme. Wherever I feel the feminine's been very misunderstood. And actually, to be fair, I think the masculine's been misunderstood as well. Especially there's just a lot of misunderstandings, but that's what I'm getting. And now this person is understanding. So now this person's cautious about how they come back for a reunion. Or a union, because I just think when I said reunion, it's like the energy of this masculine collective is like, no, it's union. Like, I'm not going away and coming back. It's like this person wants to come back for union. They've learned their lessons. So, okay, they're telling me one more, yeah, because they're lost. Nobody seems to get me or understand me, but you, I feel so alone. Oh, so it's kind of tying in with what I said. Like, it's like karma's coming back to bite some of the masculines in the ass. Like, they've turned their back on their feminine, which is turning their back on themselves. And now they're realising that the only person that actually gets them is their feminine. So, you know, it's sad. And you can either look, but I'm learning. I've grown up since our last encounter. I've been working on myself and I'm becoming someone you can be proud of. That was feeling like I actually was channeling like somebody really strong there. Okay, so let's get my wee deck to see what the feminine wants to say back to the masculine. I see your birthday numbers everywhere. I think if we're true twin flames and you know your twin flame's birthday, that's a very true statement. I can't wait to be alone with you. So obviously that can mean whatever. I actually, you know, I actually feel in this case, look, union, and that the way I put the cards down. Oh yeah, I can't be. I can't wait to be alone with you for sacred union. But it feels like this feminine can't wait to be alone with her masculine to get to the bottom of what's all went on. And I wonder why you want to spend time with anyone other than me. It's like I feel that's. It's like. That's basically picking up on when, although healed divine feminines, or you know, you've healed enough that you know why, because they're running from the intensity. It's not personal, although it can very much feel it. I feel that's a bit of fed up energy there actually, and you're allowed to feel that. That's what I'm feeling. And I could never love anyone as much as you, and I will never reject you. That's your own fear. I see right through you past your guard, and I know you know it. You're safe to be yourself with me. I actually want to shuffle them again because there's a card in this deck that says that would be kind of creepy if that comes out, like you see right through me or something like that. Something similar. I just saw look, I'm worried. I'm so afraid that you'll move on and meet someone else. It's keep me awake at night. I can't lose you. Oh my god, but that really fits with what I said about codependency. You know what I mean? Like, ironically, this person ran from you because they were so afraid of how strongly they felt for you. initially, whenever this went down, whether it was ages ago or not long ago, they just had this feeling that it was like, shit, this person would completely break my heart. I wouldn't even be able to get over it. Like, so fuck that. And it's not, depends which way you look at it. It's ran by people's subconscious fears, you know what I mean? So you might think, fuck that. Like, why would somebody, you know, if they like me, run away? But it's deep work, you know. Some people can understand it and some people can't. But obviously this is my work day in, day out. So I do get it. But that's why, if you don't know why you're self-sabotaging, literally go to a hypnotherapist and get them to ask why you are. Or come to me and book a session and we'll ask your... I said that to somebody recently. Put this way, right, I'm keeping it honest, but it's like, I say this, the tough love needs to come through sometimes, and it's about, like, it can be very frustrating for me, but this is actually when the sun's in my 8th house. Like, if you're ready to sort of do that honest, deep shadow work, and you're ready to not bullshit me and bullshit yourself, because that it's not going to help you if you bullshit, right? Like the energy that I've got in my 8th house is like a priest, or it's like a, you know, that's why it's deliverance that I do with everyone. It's, you can only free yourself from where you're self-sabotaging if you take a good honest look at things. And basically it's something around, sorry, I'm just waiting because my neighbour's at the door. Basically what I'm getting at is, I know when it's somebody's shadow that is trying to control things, because they'll come up with every excuse under the sun, and it'll always be something like, oh, this, you know, it's like, this isn't what the person will say, but like the energy around it will be, this problem is so big that there's nobody that can help me with this. Like, you won't be able to work this out because nobody ever in the planet has been able to work this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, or, you know, you can't help me clear the energy from that's all around me because I've just, you know, it's like I live in a haunted house and it's full of ghosts and you're never going to be able to get rid of them. You know what I mean? It's just always like, it's, and it's half the time when I've helped people with things like this, right? It's especially the thing when I've helped people with things like that, it's actually probably your own ghosts of the past, you know, that is haunting you. That sounds like a very mediumship thing to say, by the way, because believe me, there are entities and energies that can hang about you and demons, and so that is all very real. But if somebody's story is a bit wild, right, like I have to use my own discernment and I pick apart, and 9 times out of 10 it's not what the person's making a big song and dance about. It's like a fear that is manifesting as a physical ailment, or like I'm going to use the example of my niece again, right? Now obviously that's a child, but it is the same. So although she's a child, this could be your, you think about it as this is someone's inner child, right? It just so happens as an actual child. What was manifesting as eczema that was really, it was flaring up like really bad. Like, I mean, it was really upsetting. Like, seriously, whenever I was doing any kind of group shamanic work or on my own, I was like praying and that to, you know, to heal her of it and everything, and it was just, so it was quite bad. But what actually nipped it in the bud was like what I said the other day. I asked her subconscious, so remember, that's not, she was, it was, I said before, it was like a meditation that we done, and actually I asked her if she wanted to do it, by the way, so I didn't like do this while she was sleeping. You could do that too if it was a baby. Like, you could like say affirmations like, I love you, you're loved, you're safe. Like, that's why people listen to affirmations to sleep to, like that. If you didn't have that said to you as a child, which is a lot of people, because basically it's not always that, you know, people's families weren't great families, it's just the fact that like nobody was educated about how important it was to be saying this shit to your kids. Like, a lot of people were like, oh, stop being big-headed, or get over yourself, or, you know, you start showing the slightest fucking shining at being better at fun things than others, and people be like, oh, don't get too ahead of yourself. You know, everybody's had quite difficult, and a lot of older people that I've helped, you know, it's worse. Like, you've had people that have really dulled your light, that are like meant to be looking at, you know, like basically parents, you know, that are jealous of their own children, which is, you know, it is a real thing and it's horrible. But it's, that always comes from like, they've probably had someone around them that we're trying to dull their sparkle. So it's about going, rather than blame, I like to help people and say, like, go back to the, you know, the roots and see where that all came from. And there's been some miraculous changes with people when we do deep ancestral work. which is more than just a session. You know, that's when people do commit to their shamanic healing and, you know, do the soul retrievals required over a process of time. You know, soul retrieval isn't an overnight thing. It's, you know, you got to do the healing around the trauma and call those soul parts home and take the time to integrate, which is why I always say, if I've done a session with you, I definitely don't want to be seeing you again until after 3 weeks at the very least, really a month, because you need the time to integrate the energy. And any decent shamanic healer anyway would say that to you, you know. So it's different when I'm doing therapy with someone, because if I'm in a therapeutic process with someone doing the counselling, it's actually more needed that it is weekly sessions to keep you running away from what your healing is, you know, like that's different. But with all the other stuff I do, it's, you know, there's usually months in between seeing people, if not sometimes a year or something. But you've got to keep a note of that too. If you haven't been to any kind of healer in like over a year, like, but you're feeling like shit, like, well, you know, you need to balance the scales there. Because until I went to go and get healing in person, when I went, I hadn't been for a while, you know, like I'd done a lot of work on my, look, I feel unclear about where we stand. That was kind of crazy, because that was actually sitting in a box and it was face down. But that's where I feel where the masculine's at. But I feel it's where the feminine's at too, like just, I feel there's been a lot of time that's passed here. So it's like somebody that wants to come back after a long time, but they're totally confused as to how, if you still feel the same about them. Right, anyway, but what I was getting at, I'll finish what I was saying about my niece. The point was, if you didn't hear what I said the other day, her subconscious said that she liked getting the attention for the special cream and the special jammies that she had in it. So I asked, right, what could you get attention for instead of that, which would mean you wouldn't be in pain? And then she said, my art and my dancing. And so long story short, I then planted that intention that she get for that. And now she does get loads of attention for her art, because she's really good at painting and drawing and dancing too. But she actually is a very good dancer too. She just is like, God, I think she had a past life as a dancer, because it was like, I put on the song from Greece. When was that? I think, God, that was last year sometime. But it was after I'd done that hypnosis actually. But, and she started dancing the song at the end of Greece, like, we go together like, I sang it wrong, but you know, like that. Like, that's going to have meaning. To me, the end of Greece when they fly off in the car is about ascension. So there could be something about, like, this is a twin flame union that is ascending. Both people are ascending past the bullshit. Woohoo! But to bring it back, she started dancing that song, and she started dancing like someone from the 50s. And I was like, it was so amazing, because she hadn't seen the film before. So, and it was, you know, because it was just a song that had come on, because it was one of her birthdays. It was like, I can't remember whose birthday it was, but her dancing was amazing. But that's the point. So now her skin is better, and it's pretty much like non-existent. I think it might flare up every now and again, but nothing like what. Basically, whenever she stayed here, she's never bothered about it at all. And actually, weirdly, even when she did have it really bad, she never. Those would be the nights where she would sleep right the way through. Whereas at her own house, she was waking up every night in pain. So you know what I'm saying? It was rooted in. And she's Leo rising, so basically I get what that's all about. You know what I mean? It was she Leo risings like to be seen. I don't care what anybody. If you're a Leo rising, don't be triggered by that. It's true. You're here to shine. But if you don't get the attention that you need, you're going to find a way to get it. Do you know what I mean? But you've got to make sure it's. It wasn't good because it was making her skin sore. But yeah, that's a true story. So if you're an adult with something like that, especially if it's something to do with your skin or a physical pain, as long as you can take the, you know, the deep, honest, digging deep conversations, because it's not me, it's God speaking and it's your guides, then I can probably help you get to the root of that and stop that from happening. You know what I mean? But are you ready to let it go? Some people are very attached to their problems. Very, very attached to their problems. So, I can't. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Exactly. So, the next one that I was shuffling for was, what are some possible soul retrievals? So this is for a divine feminine or divine masculine. Let go of the limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. So that's a soul retrieval that somebody needs. So only you'll know if that fits for you. Where are you holding yourself back? But I'm just mind blown that that fits exactly with what I was saying. But it's because the gods and the guides are talking. So what's another possible soul retrieval somebody needs out there? So again, perhaps one of the limiting beliefs you're holding about yourself is that you're not good enough, and that because you keep telling yourself you're not good enough for your twin flame, you keep getting into toxic things where it doesn't push you to be your best, and you know there's not that much expected of you. But actually that's an outdated belief. Like, you are good enough, and if you surround yourself with people that are going to help you keep believing that you are good enough and you're worthy, which in this case it's going to be your person, to quote the guy that I like watching, your person. It's funny because there's other channelers and people that say your person, but they don't say it with his, I like his accent. Your person. What's another soul retrieval? Yeah, exactly. Come through, spirit. That's another one I watch. That's a woman, but I love her as well. Surrender your fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you're cared for always. Whether you're afraid of change in your job, your health, or a relationship, boom, drop the mic, look at what I just said. Or if you're fear of aging or death, repeat this affirmation. I have faith that all is well. But it's like what I said in another video recently, and I think that might be the one I was going to publish probably tomorrow now, because if I'm filming this for today, this one can be today's one, and I think I'll film the one that I felt was a bit ouchy, but it was like this. It's the brutal truth. It's just ouch if it's your situation. Basically, you'll see what I mean when you watch it. Because it's somebody's been betrayed, whether it's a divine feminine that's been betrayed or a divine masculine, or maybe it's both happened to you both and it's been mirrored. Like something not very nice has went down there. A bit more than your norm is what I felt. But I'm sure I said it in that one, that it's like the higher way that I look at things being a Sag moon, and remember it's still we're in that Sagittarius full moon energy. It's that kind of like, you know, I hate that life is short. It's so cliche, but it's true. Like really sort of question, is your fear of intimacy, and remember that was the card that came up on yesterday's one, but is your fear of intimacy about being with your dream person so big that you're prepared to run from them for the rest of your life and self-sabotage so strongly that you want to be in things that make you deeply unhappy, where you're still thinking about your person anyway? Do you know what I mean? like is your fear of change that big? And if it is like, are you so afraid of getting help for it? Like, you know, because you could, if you're that afraid of like getting help from somebody and people knowing, like, you could go further afield. You know, you could go and get help from somebody where nobody knows you, and actually, you know, sort it out once and for all. And I do believe a lot of divine masculines have done that, you know, and a lot of divine feminines and divine masculines have done that. But it's just something that, you know, that's just the way that I look at it, is that like, to first know where you're at. Like, basically it's like the thing that there's something in my room that's been on stuck to my wardrobe for years, and I've quoted it before, I can't remember exactly, but it's something like, it's something about accepting where you are is freedom. And what I suppose what I'm saying in this case is, if you are like self-loathing or not feeling good enough or not feeling worthy of a connection, if you can actually do that shadow work to actually admit that in the first place and not cover it up with, oh, I don't even like that person like they like me anyway, and I'd rather be with this person. And you know, if you can actually get really brutally honest with yourself that actually, yeah, I do want to be with that person, but I don't feel good enough for them. I feel like eventually they'll wake up and see I'm no good and they'll move on and they'll break my heart. If you can actually admit that to yourself, first and foremost, you're winning. You're winning. It might not feel like it at first, but you're winning. Because with that limiting belief, you can then either work on that yourself, or I'd strongly advise you go and find a healer or a hypnotherapist or a shaman, or like I said, I'm all of these things. But go to wherever, you know, if you need to go to someone in person and you can't get to me, but whatever, like, go to someone and admit it. That more sounds like therapy. Like, admit that that's how you feel, and then get the steps, or get somebody else to map out the steps that you have to go through to not feel like that anymore. And you might think, oh, it's not that easy. It actually is that easy. I've literally helped people go from that place to living their dream life. Many, many, many people. That's why I share the reviews all the time. And like I said in another video, I'd be very grateful if you hadn't given me an update or a review or something that you feel I supported you with. It would be helpful for other people to know. And it's anonymous too. I'm grateful if you've done it in the past, grateful if you do it in the future. I just got drawn to the time at 1808, so there's something significant about the 18th of August. What was it before that I got drawn to? That'd be weird if it was that number at the start, but it was something in August. Oh, no, it was 5th of August I got. So the 5th and the 18th are significant. Watch another soul retrieval and then we'll move on to the next bit. Surrender, stubbornness. Yeah, that's the ego. And that is it. Both of these. Look, this card, right? Look, before I read the words, that looks like a masculine that's done what I've just said. They've got honest, they've taken action, and now look, they've packed their bags and they're leaving. That could be literally, or it could be like they're leaving the past behind. Look, he might be about to drop that baggage of the past to move to the future, to cross the bridge to the new earth. And there's the butterfly I mentioned, transformation. Surrender, stubbornness. If you're testing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. That feels like somebody releasing like the spirit of Leviathan or ego. Surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. Right, I can't, because that's exactly what I've just said. If you can get over your own ego and your own stubbornness about asking for help, about releasing your limiting beliefs, which is, right, I love what they're saying, because this is exactly what my speciality is, and it makes sense because this is my full moon, because I'm Sagittarius full moon, but I'm going to say what I plan to say that on every video at some point, and I think at some point in the future I will, if I can get around to it, but basically, in a nutshell, I help you quantum leap into your highest timeline by releasing old paradigms, releasing old mindsets. Like, because I clear all the spell work, black magic, the gossip, because spell work, black magic is just gossip. And like I said, that's a shadow side of Gemini, right? It's gossip that has created chaos and confusion and misunderstanding, which is definitely what's went on in this union. If this is resonating with you, if this feels like your union, because there'll be a lot of twin flames that resonate with this, and there'll be some that you're like, that's really horrible, but it's not my story. If this is you, that's what's happened here. A lot of chaos, magic, confusion, jealous people, like mixing things up, and it's something like, and it basically matching with the people's fears. If that's what it feels like, people have got involved with like feeling into what each person's deepest fear would be, and then getting the wooden spoon and mixing it up, which is really nasty, but that's how some people roll. But yeah, and basically, yeah, I help you release old mindsets, old paradigms to help you jump to your highest timeline. And it's because my Sag moon is beliefs and it's optimism, right? And the South Node is the past, and my South Node's in Sagittarius. So I let you let go of the limiting beliefs that you've got about, yeah, it's the other one, outdated belief, this. The outdated beliefs that you hold about yourself that you can't change, right? Your stubborn, outdated, that's so funny. Your stubborn, outdated beliefs that, oh, there isn't enough, or I'm not going to be enough, or not got enough money, or I've not got this, not got enough that, I've not got enough talent, blah, 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 all the bullshit. I help you release that and believe in yourself to go for it with your wildest dreams, with your talents and your twin flame. But divine timing's in charge of that bit, and we're about to. But so boom, drop the mic, absolutely love it. But these are separate soul retrievals, or you need all of that. It feels like whoever this union is, it's like whether some of you have already worked on that or all of it, or you know, it feels like the feminines work for a lot of that, and the masculines could look for love. Get some, give some, it'll cheer your ass up. That came through yesterday. That basically means like the next bit of what's needed in this union is two people giving that love to each other in a physical connection. The sacred union of bodies two becoming one, because you recognise who each other are. You know this soul that mirrors your own. And I did say that at one point. This is a masculine that has now realised that you absolutely mirror them. Manifest in the one. Very soon your true love will arrive. This is a union that's ready to come together. Congratulations, you've done the work. Right, so what do we need to know about the future of this union? That's sometimes I use different cards for this, but I feel like I want to. Yeah, keep focused on yourself. That's what it's like. Release codependency, right? Focus on yourself. I always say the same thing about this card, but all the cards have usually two people on it, and this is one of the ones with one person. And also, look, roses, Mary Magdalene codes. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully, and that's like what I said about just accept where you are, whether it's great or not so great. Accept where you are, and watch how things change. Don't battle against it, but do pray for your connection, and do pray for your twin flame, because there is spiritual warfare. So it's a little bit of both, but before you know it, there'll be a rekindling that goes on here. That reminds me of that sculpture, the inner child of the two people. That's very relevant to this. I mentioned that quite a lot because it's such a twin flame thing, but the one where it's the two adults are back to back in a huff, but the inner children are reaching out to each other. That's what needs to happen here. This feels like an emotional reunion. Every relationship has magical moments that can be rekindled. Yeah, there's been lots of obstacles, but I always say the same thing about that one. They're not focused on them. Look, they're celebrating something. Look for ways around obstacles to find happiness. Look, that was like the other card with the woman on the phone. Receptive. Be ready to receive what fate has planned for you. Yeah, divine timing. It's happening now. There's going to be a rekindling after obstacles. Be receptive. And now there's going to be a real cherishing of this connection. Cherish your relationship after all the difficulty. Right, so now we'll get a wee New Earth message. I'm going to pause it because I need to pick them up. Right, as I was bending down to pick up the cards, I saw these other ones. So look, this is just confirming. Pray for your person, but yeah, pray for your person. Whether you're the divine feminine or divine masculine, pray for each other, but it more feels like a feminine praying for a masculine, but masculines pray for your feminine too. Pray from your heart. Prayer really can move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concerns and watch miracles unfold. Also, the 23rd was yesterday, the full moon, so the full moon is Sagittarius. Pray for your person that's dealing with codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So this could be anything. Like, it feels like, you know, anywhere where somebody's like strongly attached. So this even could be like, you know, family, that like someone's like finding it difficult to set boundaries with. That's really specific, but that's what it feels like. Someone's finding it really difficult to basically detach and speak up for themselves. But that could be, well, you know, a family with a lover too, but whatever. Then they led me to take a nap, so rest. And if not now, when? Oh my god, I didn't know that said that. It says set yourself a new goal, but that's really relevant. If not now, when? Because, oh, now I know why they were guiding me that. They were showing me wait, but it's in reverse. So it's like, you know, that came through yesterday. Same message with different cards. This is not a time to wait. This is a time to do something about it. Because if not now, when? You'll stay stuck in this. It's an outdated belief that you're stuck. You're not stuck anymore. That's what I said in that other card. It's not that it's going to be easy, because I feel in a lot of these situations it's not easy, because I feel people are stuck in codependent, toxic situations. Let's face it, a lot of which will be romantic, but it's time to move on to the next chapter of your life, and only you'll know if that resonates with you. So, what's a New Earth message? And then I'll bring this to a close. So, like I said, I knew it'd be longer, but, and if you want one of these for yourself, I would love to do these unlisted ones for personals. But again, it would be, you'd need to book the 90-minute one, because you can see this takes a while. But some people might, you might prefer this over a live session. Like I would. Like whenever I got personal ones in the past, I actually preferred the ones where I could take it in like this. Because otherwise I just talk, you see. Like, do you know what I mean? Doesn't matter if someone was meant to be helping me. I'm a channeler, so God and the guides are going to keep giving a lot of the time I ended up helping the person back as well, you know what I mean? It's quite funny. Right, so what's a message? Oh my god. I think we don't... Wow. Old timelines collapsing, insights, higher self-embodiment, expression. In Gemini season and all this Gemini energy and the next new moon on the 6th of June being in it is about expression. Yeah, look, there's going to be a resolution here. This is huge Lemurian codes. There's the butterflies again. 2 dolphins. Yeah, Lemurian energy. Amazing. And travel and dragon energy. Inner and outer journeys. Believe in yourself. Big shifts. Wow. And also Sagittarius full moon. Sagittarius is journeys. And also there's me going on about Lemuria. And look. Lemuria. That's not that weird because these cards are about Lemuria. But just saying. You're a cosmic being. Stay confident in your truth. But that feels like what I just said about people that are having to battle codependency. Like people that have got a strong hold of them. Stay confident in your truth. Feels like people doing a lot of inner child healing. Like, you know, like you're an adult now and you get to make your own decisions. I have no idea what to use for a thumbnail. I think on this one I might... I think that one. And then that one maybe. And then... Oh, because we need some of the romantic ones in, because these are the ones that would make me click too. So, be receptive to reunion and resolutions. That's basically... Oh, wait a minute. Is that in? That's in, and... Perfectionist in me showing. Yeah, there we go. Love it. Beautiful energy. I hope this helped you. Like I said, if you'd like to book this for yourself, book the 90-minute unlisted video and I would love to dig into this for you. Oh, they're just reminding me I did want to use some more message cards. But look at these car stickers. Yeah, someone's going to be making their way to you. Oh, they might have a hot pink car. I don't know why they're kicking them out. I think it's because I got led to them when I was picking something up. Do you know what? I don't even know where the rest of these are. Let's just see what this says. Yeah, I want to hold you. I could hold you in my arms. I could hold you forever. Squeeze. Oh my god. And this one's talking about cuddling as well. You need a big fucking hug. And I'm sorry I couldn't be what you needed me to be. So there's something big about needing a hug. And Neptune. Magic, imagination, illusion. Someone's... Oh god, we don't want to pick up on the shade. We didn't pick up on too much of that. But basically somebody's seen through whatever illusions or lies, manipulation, whatever was clouding their judgment, somebody's seen through that now. And by the time the 30th of May rolls around, there's going to be big changes in this union. Yeah, and a loved one in heaven is bringing this together. Remember I kept saying about the angels? A loved one in heaven is bringing this together. Thank you, loved ones in heaven, for drawing close at this time. That's crazy because I did say that. It's not crazy because God speaks through me, but it still amazes me. Count your blessings. Thank you, universe and angels, for blessing my life. But I'm actually seeing that as that's the masculine writing a message to the feminine. Like, you know, it's a text, but thank you, animal kingdom, for blessing my path with love. Call on your spirit animals, your power animals to support you. And look, that's the masculine, like sending the feminine a telepathic message before it's a literal message. Thank you, angels, for guiding me through my inner voice. It's so interesting. Take time to breathe. Thank you, angels. I breathe with ease knowing you're here. So anyway, they just wanted to add that in. See you later.